This is 680 CJOB.
Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar. Have you been there yet? I got a bucket list of local restaurants, and sometimes when I finally get to the restaurant I've heard about for a while, I wonder what took me so long to get there. Jackelyn Tsouras, who owns Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar, along with her father, longtime businessman George Tsouras, is here to talk about their new gem. So Jackelyn, what is Agora Fine Food Market?
So Agora Fine Food Market is, we're a Mediterranean-based fine food market, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. My dad, our family is Greek, so he always had this dream of kind of
I'm black, by the way, just so you know. I don't know if you noticed.
I had no idea. I couldn't even tell. Oh my God. It's amazing.
I know.
So yeah, basically, like, we've always had restaurants in the family, and I have a brother that lives in London, England, and over there that concept is really big, where there's a fine food market with like bistros and restaurants attached. Mm-hmm. So my dad always had this, like, I think he planted a seed a few years back, and it kind of came to fruition in the last couple of years. We opened February 2017, but we offer imported goods from Spain, Greece, Italy. We do a lot of local goods because Manitoba and Winnipeg obviously has a lot of talent when it comes to local food and gourmet and whatnot.
For sure.
We have a bistro attached and a wine bar, so we have a full-service restaurant. We do lunch and dinner throughout the week and brunch on the weekends.
Thanks for lunch, by the way.
Yes, you're very welcome.
That was very good.
A chorizo burger. I tried it the day after you left. I was like, yeah, I hadn't had it yet.
Get out of here.
I know.
Dude.
It's amazing. I know. I'm slowly going through the menus.
Well, I guess you can't eat everything, right?
Well, you can. But I'm trying to make my way through the menu so I can just tell people.
What did you think?
It was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Chorizo burger. I mean,
how can you go wrong?
Can't go wrong. And the bun. And the fries.
The bun. Remember we talked about the
brioche.
Bun. You know, I didn't have any burger left in the bun. And it kind of slipped out.
I know.
And I ate the bun, and the bun was just as good without the
You can't have a burger without a brioche bun.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's my opinion.
You know, and now it's my opinion, too.
Yeah.
I won't talk about the ketchup yet, because I'll just go on, and we have other things to talk about.
I know, it's so good.
All right, so before we get into Agora and Indulge, Bistro and Wine Bar, let's talk about your family's history in the restaurant industry.
Okay. So, yeah, my dad has had restaurants since before I was born.
Right, and what are the two prominent ones that come to mind?
Two prominent ones. We still have the Beachcomber at the Forks.
Right.
And the one that most people would probably recognize is Brannigan's, which is no longer around, unfortunately, but it had a great run. He came to Canada when he was 8, started working in restaurants when he was probably about 12 years old. And he's going to kill me, but 67, and he's still doing his thing. So, he's been doing it for a long time, and he's a very wise man when it comes to running the businesses. And I'm learning a lot from him every single day. Good
Whether
and
you
bad.
like it or not.
Exactly that.
It's awesome, right? So as any father would, you're running a business.
Yeah.
You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
You're expecting or hoping that one of these or all of them will join you in the business and eventually hand it off.
You kind of assume that's going to happen.
You assume it's going to happen. But one by one, each one is going their own direction, right?
And saying, I will never do this. But I somehow ended up here.
Like, how did this happen?
Well, so, my sister, who's the oldest of the 3 of us, she had her life planned out since she was a kid, and that was never in her plans, which is fine.
I don't even understand that.
Yeah, I know. My brother...
I'm like 48. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well, none of us do, really. I mean, it's all a front, isn't it?
Totally. I'm just faking it.
Yeah.
Kids, daddy's got it together. I have no idea what I'm doing.
No one needs to know anything else. And my brother is an actor in England, like I said, and so when he turned 18, he left, so that wasn't going to happen.
Does he have an accent now?
He does.
Does he really?
Yes. I thought he was putting it on for a while, but he's been there for 15 years, so it's like, and his partner has a very thick, he's from Manchester, so he's got a very thick accent.
That'd be cool.
Very cool. Still weird that he sounds British now, but his Canadian,
who are you?
His Canadian comes out, his friends and partner make fun of him when we go there, because like he starts speaking Canadian again, as his partner would say.
When you guys show up.
Yeah.
Right.
If he's with us for like an hour, all of a sudden, English accent's gone. Yeah.
My mom's like that. She's Jamaican, and when she's talking with other Jamaicans, her accent is hard.
Like, it's crazy.
Right? And then we talk to her, and she's all of a sudden...
back and forth.
Yeah.
It's wild how they can do that. But so we all had to work for our father. When we turned 14, he was like, you're going to learn the value of $1. And so we all started working for him when we were 14. We went through the ringer as far as, we started off as bus girl, bus boy.
How was that?
It was really awful. not going to lie. I did not enjoy it. I will never forget my first shift. I was 14 years old working at Brannigan's in the summer. And part of our uniform, we had to wear khaki shorts.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, which already is super great.
Yeah.
And then I brought...
So you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I loved it. And then I brought some dishes back to the dish pit, and I got dirty. And
Well, imagine that in the dish pit.
I know. I was horrified. I went home and I told my mom, and she was like, well, you are cleaning tables and stuff. And my shorts got dirty, and that was like the end of my day. Like I was so upset. So that didn't work out well. And then when I was 16, I became a hostess, which I liked because I'm a social person.
Get out of here, you.
I know. Can't tell, right?
I know, yeah.
It's crazy. And then 18, I became a server, which was very new and interesting to me. Did that for about a year, and then I said, I'm out. Like, I'm not.
Like you didn't like it?
I was just like done with the restaurant industry, but I was young. Like, I was young. I was like, I wasn't confident. I was naive, all that goes along with
What about the tips?
I know.
Didn't you like the tips?
I don't remember them, so maybe I wasn't.
Maybe you were that
Maybe
bad.
that was the problem.
Why does he have extra money and I don't?
It's like,
This is very
something's
strange.
not right here. I don't get it, guys.
Like, never mind, just keep serving.
So clearly I was like, I'm not good at this, so we're just going to stop. And so as much as I like looked up to my dad and stuff, I never thought this would be something that I would do. I worked for retail for about 15 years.
Yep.
I worked as a professional makeup artist with MAC the last 10 years doing management and stuff with them. And then, my dad came to me with this idea. I was kind of already thinking of moving on to a new career. And something...
Hang on. Yeah. Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but...
Go on.
So, this man
Yes.
who saw you despise...
Yes.
You hated busing.
I know. All of it.
Every part of it.
All of it.
And then you're just like, I'm out. And then he decides...
And then a solid, 12 years later, he tries again.
Yes.
He's like, maybe. She's had some time with it. 12 years is
chew
enough.
on this. I'm going to bring it up again.
Exactly.
See what happens.
And guess what? He took a risk, and it worked, because now I'm here.
Hang on. So were you open to it when you first how did you first bring it up?
To be honest, I don't even really remember. I think he just kind of said, I've got this idea, and he kind of threw it at me, and I was like, this is something that I, A, think is going to really work in the city, and B, because the restaurants he's had have always been really large, and it's a much bigger beast than what we have now at Agora and Indulge. I really like being able to sit down and socialize, and when you were there the other day, it's like you see us with the customers and we're able to chat.
You guys knew everybody. You talked to everybody.
We get to know everybody.
Came in and
it's
people,
family.
either they knew you.
We literally hug people when they leave. So it's like having only 15 tables in our bistro allows us to have that relationship with our customers.
George Tsouras, longtime Winnipeg restaurant owner, somehow convinced his daughter to go into business and open a new spot much different than his previous restaurants. How did he do it? Stick around. I'm talking to Jackie Tsouras of Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar to find out. Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar. Father, George, and daughter, Jackelyn, team up to open a restaurant unlike the ones George has owned before at the Forks. So, Jackelyn, why did it take opening this restaurant for you to finally collaborate with your father?
Somewhere like the Forks, albeit a great place, you can't have that in the summertime. It's go, right?
It's busy, man. Tourists,
it's crazy
everybody's
busy,
in and out.
So I think that was more so my point, was that I was never going to be a part of that. But when he said this, I was like, okay, there's a lot that I have to think about working with my father, going into a industry that I've never really been a part of or understood to the extreme.
Right, but you had traveled by then, right? You told me that you went to Europe and everything.
Yeah, I lived in France for 8 months. I go to England every year to see my brother, and we usually pop over to Greece, because we obviously know when you're in Europe, you can literally hop on a plane for a couple $100 and go anywhere.
For sure, and dining in Europe is sexy.
It's amazing.
You know what I mean? It's awesome,
beautiful,
right?
And it's an experience every single time, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's selling that to you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Now all of a sudden he realizes that she knows what that portion.
Well, and that's exactly it. I told you, don't throw me in the kitchen, because you won't like what you're gonna get. It's not gonna be good. But I like to eat, and I like to eat at nice places, and I like to experience dining, and so that's the thing. I created a menu which shocked my entire family, because they're like, "How did you do this? But you can't cook." What? There's a disconnect here. Yeah,
right?
and that's exactly. I know what I like. I know what people like. And people like things that are different, but people like things that make them feel like comfortable. We have a lot of people that come that are from like Portugal, Italy, Greece. They come for like, we have a man that comes in all the time because he craves octopus. And he's like, this tastes like home to me.
Really?
Yeah. And like he'll drive to our place, sit with his espresso at bar by himself. He's a doctor he's Italian, but like he's like this. You can't get this everywhere.
See, that makes it worth it.
Oh my
right?
God, yes.
Of course, you want new customers, but it's the ability to bring customers back. Like
even
they want to come
me,
back.
like it's like we have a soup that's like a traditional Greek soup called avgolemino, and it's like literally lemon soup, lemon chicken rice soup.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was growing up, like we used to go to my yaya and papoose, like my Greek grandma and grandpa's on Saturdays or Sundays. And I remember being like a 5-year-old sitting on the floor watching my papu, my grandpa, like whisk the egg whites to make this avgolemino.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I have this soup now, it tastes exactly like my childhood, and it brings back like all these insane memories. My dad taught me how to make it in the kitchen and like at Agora, and it was like I felt like I had to document it. So like we took a picture of me and my dad like cooking together. But like,
that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah, it makes you like it just allows people to have a sense of home when you can't get back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it strange when you're young, you think your parents don't know anything?
Yeah.
And then he just drops a bomb and then you realize
it's
this
wild.
guy knows everything.
It's absolutely wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And that's why I said too, like I think that sometimes when we butt heads, it was like the first time in my life that I realized, holy crap, like we are actually
a lot alike. That's what I said.
In his Father's Day card the other day, I wrote like, now I understand why we sometimes don't get along. I said, it's because I'm a mini George. I was like, I'm a mini you. It's so true.
But that's awesome for him to hear that. It's happening to me. Oh my God. That's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
So the concept of the restaurant.
Yes.
In the creation of the concept of the restaurant, what was that like collaborating with your father now? Because, okay, he's run restaurants forever. He's old school, man.
Yeah, he's super old school, which is great.
Right.
And which can work and all that. But I'm not. I'm 33. I'm new school. Like, I can appreciate old school. Like, I can appreciate, like old school recipes and like all that stuff, but that's not me. So,
right. So how do you guys get past that?
I know.
Right?
Well,
like meeting in the middle, you
yes.
both have great things to contribute.
Yep.
But how do you get past it? There's got to be a lot of push and pull, at least at the beginning.
There is. In the beginning, there was, and that's exactly it. Like, the one thing I can say about my dad is like he fully supports me and he listens to me. Now, like I said, we are so much alike. So we would have formal business meetings because working with your parent, you have to look at them as your employer at the same time. Like I don't go to work and say like, hey dad, like what's up? Like I call him George at work because that's just how it goes.
Right.
So we'd sit down and have meetings, and sometimes they were awesome and sometimes they weren't. But like that was like, for example, like with our menu, it's a 1-page menu. Traditionally, that might not be the case for George, which is fine. Because even at like our restaurants in the past, you could have 5 or 6 pages, and some people still come in and say that I can't find anything to eat.
Right.
Which is wild. Crazy. But you go to Greece and there's 100 items on the menu. Like that's normal for Europe. Like yes. You go, oh my God, you go to Greece and it's like literally you're flipping like it's numbered like one. No, you can't. You sit there for like an hour being like, oh, it's wild. It's insane. So I get where he's coming from. But yeah, we had to have a conversation and kind of find a way for old school to meet new school and find somewhere in the middle. And
how long did it take? How many conversations? I
would say, I lost count. But
how many conversations before you realized, okay, we're making progress here?
I'd say it was probably like we probably had a solid month of just kind of like bickering and going back and forth.
Right, because sometimes you have to throw it out there.
Oh my God!
Then argue, separate, chew on it for 100%. A little bit, soak in what he said,
and that's the thing. And like I think it's like I respect so much his wisdom and stuff, and that's the thing too. Is like, for example, like we have retail, we have the market side. Mm-hmm. My dad's never done that. Mm-hmm. Like that's my world. So like
it is very. I got to tell you, walking in there and seeing the market side.
Yeah.
It's so tidy and appealing.
Because I am like good. OCD about that stuff, and I like things, and I like and people comment on that, and that makes me so happy.
Because I'm thinking when you say market in restaurant, I'm thinking like a market that's kind of disorganized and kind of old school, kind of whatever. But it's like super
clean.
tidy and organized.
It's just
holy crap.
It's streamlined. Like it's like, and that was so important to me and my father.
Right.
But yeah, like we somehow we had. Going into business with a parent or family can be very difficult and interesting. And somehow me and my dad weren't always like the closest. Mm-hmm. Growing up in the restaurant industry, obviously like your parents like are at work. Like,
working.
24/7. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so
Even when they're home, they're doing work things, or someone's calling them about work.
Well, now we have cell phones, right? So it's like when there was no cell phones, it was easy to turn off, right? Like they'd call you on the landline and be like, "Oh, George, like we need you to come down here or whatever."
Take it off the hook,
right?
Like the old school
But
days.
like now we have cell phones. You're getting emails all the time. You're getting texts. You're getting all of it.
Right. It's good and bad.
Yeah, it's good and bad. Exactly that.
News, sports, and weather up next, and then I continue talking with Jackelyn from Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar about their food. It's almost 5:30, so you can set the table, serve dinner, and continue listening to the main ingredient after the break. Welcome back to the main ingredient, Agora Fine Food Market. You can buy your favorite imported food there, enjoy lunch there, have some wine and tapas there, pick up ready-made meals or get it delivered. They seem to do it all. How does this father and daughter team work together and run this business successfully? Jackelyn?
Yeah, we somehow met in the middle and made it work. And that's the one thing that people comment on when they come in. They're like, they're so shocked that a daughter is working with her father because that's just so not. And especially our age difference. Like I'm 33, he's 67. They're like, how did you come into this? Like, how do you guys not like kill each other? How did you guys like end up like finding something in the middle? And it's through conversation, and it's through being honest, and it's through respect, and
a little bit of bickering. Like
and you have to. Oh God, we still bicker every day. But like he, after this last, like, because we've been open for nearly a year and a half. After this, like last year and a half, like he sees like everything that I've said, or we've bickered about, or I've done, or I've pushed for, is because like it works. Like people love it. Do you know what I mean? And like, and we've taken some of his recipes and stuff that like, you know, like we have moussaka on the menu. That's very traditional Greek, but you update it. Right. We have spanakopita in grilled cheese form rather than doing the traditional. So, you know, like we just try and do things a little bit different, but not so far off
you're
that
right.
people
That is
are
something
like,
that's totally different.
Yeah.
You named it the same. That's not even close to what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So trying to stay fresh with traditional items, and it seems to be working. So
I think it does work.
Yeah.
Agora, what does it mean?
Agora, so it's a really suiting name, and George came up with it, thought of it. So basically,
was that the first name, or did you have other names?
That was always his. That was his name that he had always thought of it for it. So
we're going to open a business. Don't even discuss names. Exactly. This is the name.
This is it. No one else has a say in this. Luckily, I liked it. Otherwise, there would have been another fight. So, in ancient Greece, it was like the meeting place, the marketplace. Right. So it's super fitting, and that's people come there, and it's a place to meet. It's a place to meet new people and family and all of that.
Why do people have problems finding that thing?
Oh my God, I don't know.
I don't even know either, because again, it's an interesting area, and like I always say, don't use your GPS.
Yeah, don't use because apparently it doesn't get you there.
No, it takes you to the light at Scurfield, then tells you to do a U-E.
I don't understand.
And I'm like, okay, well,
that is not how you get there.
It was in there. It tells me to do a U-E, and then by the time you get like half a block down, it says you are here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I'm like, where?
That's ridiculous. And that's like. That's
that
why
sign can't get any bigger, too. Your sign is monstrous.
It's huge, and that's the thing. That's why, like I was telling you, I made a video for Instagram, literally showing people flipping the camera back and forth, being like, "These are our neighbors. Here's party stuff. Here's Lowe's." And a girl literally came in like the next day and was like, "That video was a joke, right? Like you guys aren't that hard to find." I'm like, "No, we are. People call and they have no clue where we are." And I mean, having our address being on Kenniston, we're not on Kenniston. Like we're back. But like that's the same thing goes for Rona and stuff. Like all of our addresses are on Kenniston. We're not on Kenniston.
No, not even close.
No. So like Lowe's, the big giant Lowe's, if you go there, we are right beside them. No.
And sometimes again, I was kind of looking around, and when I actually looked up and saw your sign, I felt like a fool. Because it's just so
huge.
Big. It's monstrous. So I'm like, that costs a couple bucks.
Red. It's like...
Yeah, it looks awesome.
You can't miss it. Yeah, it's a great sign. It's fantastic.
It is.
But it is loud. It's there.
But it's loud good.
It's loud good.
If it was an ugly sign, then that'd be different.
Exactly that. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the things you guys do. You are a market that sells imported goods. Yeah,
imported goods, local goods. We do meals to go. So we have a big section of kind of... I guess you call them home replacement meals. We call them HRMs. So there's vegetarian options. We do gluten-free options, pastas. We have, right now especially, we have meats and different seafoods that you can take home and throw right on the grill. We have octopus that you can just take home, and it's all marinated, ready to go.
Seriously?
Yes, and it's so good. We actually are doing, for the summertime, we're doing where you can come in and pre-order any meats that you want so that you can take it home if you're having a barbecue or whatever. Yeah, it's awesome.
I love
People have been loving.
Okay, I like to
me
eat.
too. I just told you I don't cook, so I'm like.
But I'm gonna look at it here. I'm not gonna say where I got it.
Exactly.
So yeah, what y'all think of that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and then we have a deli in the back, so people can come in and get like their salads and stuff to go. We have imported cheeses and meats. We do soups. We do catering. We have a big catering business.
Mm-hmm. How do you manage all that? So it's a bistro, like it's a bistro. Yeah. It's a like a market.
Yeah.
And it's catering.
Yeah.
And food to go. Like,
yeah.
How do you?
It's wild.
That?
I was just talking to someone today about that, and I was saying how when it first started, we had all these ideas, and we're like, "Okay, let's just do it all." And then when we were doing it, we're like, "Oh my god! Like, why did we? There's so much." But
right. Sometimes you have ideas.
Yes.
And then when people buy the ideas,
yes.
like you've convinced them that this is great.
Yeah.
And then you realize you got to do the work, and now you got to manage all this.
But it all works so smoothly now. It's wild. We don't have a big team. We've got a very small team.
Yep.
But everyone is very good at what their jobs are.
Right.
And we've got a fantastic chef that he takes all of our, like today he had to get to their like 3 or 4 caterings, and we've got about. He's got to do another couple over the next days, and
hey man, how's your day going?
He's like, he just keeps to himself, but as long as we've got coffee going and stuff. But it's wild how it all just kind of, it all works. And I mean, after a year and a half of doing it and figuring out all the kinks and stuff, like it's a very smooth running ship right now, and it's pretty great. So, but yeah, like it's catering. Like last year, we had a wedding that we did off-site, and it was 320 people.
Okay, your catering menu, I'm on your site. It's huge.
I know.
Like it's monstrous. I was scrolling, and like
that's not even
the little bar. I'm like, you offer all this stuff to cater?
Do you know what's wild is that people will look at that and be like, "But can we get this?" And it's something that's not even
serious?
on there. And I'm like, "There's
Everything's
literally everything, but we can't. We do. Like we had a lady that came in at Christmas, and she's like one of our regulars, and she's an amazing woman, and she's like, I'm supposed to be bringing like scalloped potatoes to like the family dinner or whatever. She's like, I don't really want to make them. But can I bring my own pan in so that it looks like I made them?
The lowest of the low, but awesome at the same time.
And so we did it. And it was awesome.
I'm going to do that.
It was amazing.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, this is a huge menu. But if you can't find something on it, we'll make it happen for
Really?
you. Oh my God, yes. We literally do anything. And George delivers. So
he doesn't actually deliver, does he?
Yes, he does.
Like he gets in a car with the food and delivers.
Of course. He was my delivery guy today.
Are you serious?
Yes. He delivered out to North
Listen, Dad,
North Kildonan
you got to
today.
be there one. Yeah. Don't be late. Take this
People
route.
come in and like, can you deliver? I'm like, George will deliver wherever you want. Because he will.
That's
He's that
awesome.
great of a man, yeah.
Good grief.
I know.
Holy smokes.
I know. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
Agora Fine Food Market is what owner Jackelyn Tsouras and I have been talking about. So after the break, we're going to talk about the other side of the same business, Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar. We'll be right back. Last segment of The Main Ingredient, and I've been talking to Jackelyn Tsouras of Agora Fine Food Market, and now we are talking about the other side of the building, Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar.
Our bistro is a wine bar. We've got quite an extensive wine list.
Do you guys sell bottles of wine or just wine in the bar?
So we just sell wine in the bar because unfortunately we can't legally sell wine as in like a wine shop.
Right.
We don't. They stopped giving out private licenses. So that's where we kind of were like, let's do like just like a proper wine bar then. Right. So like I said, we got a huge selection. We are like fully licensed, our whole building, so you can come in and grab a drink while you shop.
Sweet.
Yes.
Take that.
So that's kind of like our little thing.
Totally. You're staying here and drink.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, whatever you want to do. Yeah, we've got a small cocktail list. We have beer and all that. But our menu is like primarily, it's definitely Mediterranean influence. We have quite a large tapas list.
Thanks for the tray today.
Yeah. So pretty, right?
Yeah, I had to put it in my downstairs fridge and put a note in it for my son not to touch it. Like, don't eat this.
Oh my God, if I was your son and I came home and opened the fridge, I'd be like, it would be gone.
He thinks the downstairs fridge is his. Like he
Oh
puts
my
food
God.
in there. Like I go to Costco and buy things. Like, like let's say you buy like a carton of orange juice, but it's 4 containers in there.
Yeah.
So I'll go to take one out and it's half empty.
Oh my
so
God.
he opens it,
Got a
drinks it,
boring boy,
puts it back
Kevin.
in. I'm like, dude, this is not your fridge. It's our fridge. It doesn't hold your stuff. And he's like, well, I'm close to it.
It was there. Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Pretty sure
just
it's
take a full
mine.
one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's why I put that note on there. I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
This thing
Do
is like,
not eat this.
if he touches it, like,
he could probably very sneakily take a couple pieces.
No. I took a picture of it.
You're like,
That way I literally will match it with
you'll
the
know if
picture.
there's any puzzle pieces
Yeah, I will know.
gone or whatever.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like we do everything. But yeah, our menu's fantastic. I love our menu. Like there is, like I said, I'm slowly making my way through it because I think it's important to be able to tell customers what.
You
Like
can't go, everybody says it's great.
Well, yeah.
You want to tell them why it's great. 'Cause
like
I
the
had it.
chorizo burger. Like I hadn't had it. I'm like, how spicy is it? I want to know.
Copycat.
Right? It's so good.
It is good.
Oh. And those bistro fries. Like everything is so great. Our gyro, like.
Hang on. The only thing that matched the fries.
Here we go.
ketchup.
Here we go.
What's with the ketchup, man?
I know.
Ketchup by George?
Which
It's-
was actually a joke name, but it kind of like stuck.
That's funny.
My dad
My
made like he made this ketchup and it's like barbecue based and he wanted the boys in the back to package it up and they were like, well, what should we call it? You don't want us to call it ketchup. So they put a bunch of labels out that said ketchup by George and I thought it was hilarious, but now people come in and they're like, where's the ketchup by George? I'm like, oh my God, it's stuck.
I know. I put it in my fridge. Don't touch that ketchup. Use that other stuff down there. That stuff's mine.
It's so good. And it's just a little recipe that he came up with and he loves being in the kitchen.
Does he?
Yes, to the point that sometimes I have to tell him to get out. But
let this guy do the work. You got other work to do.
yeah,
buddy.
exactly. Like, let's go hang out in the front. But that's his passion. He loves to cook and doesn't really follow a recipe, but that's just him. Like, he just does his own damn thing and it works.
I just find it nice. As we had a conversation in your restaurant.
Yeah.
You disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah.
I
was worried what he was going to be saying when I left.
Is he going to scare him
I
off?
gotta get back to the table.
He's going to scare him off. He's super passionate. I'm like, this guy's been doing it forever, but he's talking to me as if he's just been doing it for like five years. You know what I mean? And it's still fresh and all that kind of stuff. He's done it over and over again, and he still loves it.
It's literally his life. And that's a thing growing up. Like I said, we weren't super close, and he would say the same thing. I didn't get what this was all about. I didn't get what the restaurant industry was about. I didn't get what went into it. Mm-hmm. I just saw my dad going to work and I was like, and we'd go to the restaurant. We till this day, we still have family dinner at the restaurant every Friday night.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
It's great, and we all get, whoever can go and whatnot. But I realize now what goes into it, and I have so much respect for him, and our relationship is just solidified and gotten so close over the last 2 years because of that. He works his butt off, Yeah,
as a parent, though, you've done your job when your kid is ignorant to the fact of how the real world works.
Yeah.
Because you want them to be a kid as long as possible.
And that's exactly it. And I mean, he worked his butt off so that we could have, and we did have the best life growing up, and we still do. Mm-hmm. But I have seen him through different eyes, I tell him I'm so proud of him because he's 67 and he just opened this new store with his daughter.
Who does that?
And he tells everybody about it. I hear him talk, he goes around and he literally talks to every single customer that comes through that door. And people love that. And I try and do the same, but I will literally hear him saying my daughter 1,000 times a day because
awesome,
he's
man.
so happy.
Yep.
And it's great. And
I got one.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
The one I didn't think I'd get. I got her.
He's that was his whole plan the whole time, probably.
For sure.
He had it all sorted out. He just had to wait the right amount of years, and apparently 12 was the number.
I'll let her go around the world, think that's the stuff, and then she'll come back, and then I got
Reel
you,
her
kid.
right in.
I got you.
Yeah, he caught me.
No, that's awesome, man. Smart man.
Yeah.
For those who don't know where you guys are, let's give some basic information.
Yes, of course. So our address technically is 1765 Kenniston, Unit H. That doesn't really tell you anything, though. So I'm going to tell you where we are. We are in between, off Kenniston. We are between McGillivray and Scurfield. The big, points that you would see would be, like I said, Lowe's, the new Lowe's, which is massive. We are literally, if you're entering into Lowe's, we're right to the left of them. Mm-hmm. Party Stuff is another big name that people realize. We're literally right next to them as well.
And your sign is like monstrous.
It's huge, and
Just
if you
look
see
up.
it, a big red sign. That's us. So yeah, but it's
So how old are we? Not
We-
you as in,
we-
I mean you as in the business.
We are nearly a year and a half years old. Yeah.
How's it going?
It's good. It's like, I feel like we're kind of, Winnipeg is so great for supporting local.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Like now and mean it now. You know what I mean? Like we're finally recognizing the great things that Winnipeggers do.
100%.
I'm talking in not just in
every
restaurants, I'm
aspect.
talking in every aspect.
It's amazing. And there's so much homegrown talent here. Like you said, in every aspect, like music, acting, restaurants. Like we have amazing food in Winnipeg.
Right.
And once people find out about you, like that's a thing, like it's word of mouth. Like you can do everything you can to advertise and stuff, but word of mouth is the best thing.
For sure.
And I feel like it's so great because daily now I find people are coming in and saying like, oh, my friend told me I had to check out this place. Or like, someone literally told me yesterday, she's like, this place has been on like my like place to visit, like I guess her like restaurant bucket list or whatever, because she had seen something on social media or something and she's like, I added to my list. But we're finally like making a name for ourselves, and it feels so rewarding that like people are finally like, you work your ass off to get to that point and you wonder when it's going to click.
Right.
And then when you start to see everything kind of coming together, it's awesome.
That's
it's
nice
so
feeling.
great. Yeah.
I felt like a fool for not being in there before.
That's
As I
what
walked
it
in tonight,
is.
I'm like, this place is awesome.
But when people come in, like you said the other day, it's like we have them. It's almost like we have them for life because they have this incredible, people always say like the experience they have there between whether they're shopping, whether they're doing catering, whether they're having a meal with us. Like, because we feel like there was a couple that was in the other day and they've been with us. They've been coming to see us with their sons who are like grown boys. Since the day we opened, they came and spent New Year's Eve dinner with us. And the parents are moving to California in a week. The boys are staying here. And they said that this is our place. And they said, let's meet at our place tonight for dinner.
It's awesome. Don't even got to say the name.
I know. And so when she left, I gave them both big hugs. And she's like, cool. I'm going to cry. I said, because she's like, I feel like part of your family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was like, that's what we do here. Like,
that's what we do. That's how we roll.
We have just a bunch of family.
That's killer awesome, man.
Yes.
What are the hours?
So Monday through Saturday, we are open from 10 till 10. Sundays, we are open from 12 till 5. We are still in the works, so we might be shutting down on Sundays for the summer just because the area that we're in, there's not a whole lot of activity. Being in like the south side of the city with Linden Woods, Linden Ridge, a lot of people have cabins and stuff, so people are usually pieced out for the weekend. But yeah, I just said that.
You did?
Just came out of my mouth.
Didn't I say I was the black one? Okay.
Oh my God.
That is
Some
awesome,
of the things that come out of my mouth, I swear to God. I don't even know where that came from.
That was awesome. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you so much, Kevin. That was awesome chatting with you.
Way too much fun. Thank you, Jackelyn Tsouras from Agora Fine Food Market and Indulge Bistro and Wine Bar. Thank you, George Tsouras, for the good chat and great food when I visited last week. And thank you to everyone else for listening to The Main Ingredient today. If you haven't been to Agora, you got to go. Peace out.
This is 680 CJOB.